Now this January, Thiago Motta got himself a brand new toy. Juventus got their manager a brand new signing. Thiago Motta got himself a brand new striker. Maybe, just maybe this is the striker that Thiago Motta has been crying out for all season. In terms of profile, in terms of what this number 9 can bring to his team, to his philosophy. Can this number 9 unlock some of these Juventus attackers? In came Kolo Muani from PSG on loan. Now Kolo Muani, a player that put his name on the map in the Bundesliga with Frankfurt, earned himself a big money move to PSG. Let's just say, long story short, didn't live up to the expectations at PSG. Didn't live up to the big money price tag. Fast forward, he's at Juventus. But I feel like now he's at Juventus with a point to prove. And the point is to defy his critics. To put all the criticism, the doubts, put them all in the trash. And I feel like when looking at his performance, his debut against Napoli, I feel like there's a lot of positives to this signing. But let's look into it in a bit more detail. Now, the beautiful thing about going back and rewatching a game is sometimes you pick up things you never picked up watching the game first time around. That Kenan Yildiz opportunity in the first 10-15 minutes. I'm now sat telling myself, I saw something from rewatching the game that I never saw the first time round. That Kenan Yildiz opportunity would never ever happen if it wasn't for Kolo Muani. Now you can clearly see Kefran Turam has the ball down the left hand side. He fizzes it across goal, intentionally looking for Kenan Yildiz. But the beautiful thing about it is you look at the positioning that Kolo Muani took. The ball comes in Kolo Muani's direction, but what he does is he dummies it. That dummy sells the entire Napoli defense, because you could see they're all expecting the ball to go into Kolo Muani. If not, Kolo Muani will get a touch of it. He literally runs over the ball. It fools the entire Napoli defense and it finds Kenan Yildiz with an extra 2-3 seconds. Why? Because the Napoli defense weren't even expecting the ball to get to Kenan Yildiz. And on another day, Kenan Yildiz puts this ball into the back of the net and everybody looks at him, looks at Kefran Turam and says, what a pass and what a finish. But for me, it's that IQ that Kolo Muani showed where he knew I can get a touch of the ball, but I'm not really in a goal scoring area. But I know I've got the mirrors in the back of my head. I know my teammate is open out wide on the right. So let me run over this ball and fool the entire defense in order to give him those extra seconds. That opportunity, I feel like all three of them played a massive part in. And on another day, it's a beautiful goal. Now, the second thing to discuss is the goal. Kolo Muani scored on his debut. But the thing that I loved most about the goal is you can see his positioning when the cross first comes in. He's in the opposition penalty area. He's taking up that fox in the box position. Yeah, in and around the 12-yard box, just waiting for anything to drop, to pounce on anything. The thing I loved about it was the cross comes in, it gets cleared out. How many times do you see strikers, as soon as the ball gets cleared out, they move away? They move away. Sometimes they come out of the opposition box. Sometimes they go to the left. They go to the right. No, he stayed in the most dangerous area, which is the 12-yard spot, the penalty spot. He stayed there and he told himself, listen, one deflection, one rebound, one mistimed jump, one mistimed pass, and I'm in on goal. So let me stay in this dangerous area. He took the gamble, and that's what the best strikers do. They gamble. But it's more their intuition, their anticipation, just that thought, maybe, just maybe this ball will drop to me. And boy, oh boy, it dropped to him. But the thing I loved was, you could clearly see, he has his back to goal, but he knows where the goal is. That's what the best players do. They know where their teammates are without even having to look for them. The strikers, they know where the goal is without having to constantly turn around and be like, okay, so it's out there on the left, a little bit to the right, I need to hit the ball into the corner. No, he knows exactly where the goal is. Takes the ball on the turn, on the volley, catches the keeper by surprise, 1-0 Juventus. And finally, it's an attribute that I feel like Thiago Motta loves. He appreciates it and he knows I need this in my team. I need this in my team in order to impose, in order to put my blueprint on this Juventus team. What is it? Pressing. But when I say pressing, I mean pressing with intensity. A player that can press relentlessly. That was Kolo Muani. And I was sat watching that game, and I'll be honest with you guys, there was a period where I felt sorry for him because I was like, he's the only person pressing with some form of intensity. His teammates are not on the same page. But you could see a player that knows how to press and that presses at a high intensity will reap a lot of rewards. The first example is you can clearly see it's a ball down the right channel, down Juventus' right channel. It's a loose ball, but you could see there's already two Napoli players, but he is sprinting. He is chasing them down. Why? Because he knows if I win the ball down Napoli's right-hand side in their own box, I win the ball in a very, very, very dangerous areas. It's not the same as winning the ball in midfield and now you have to carry the ball the whole field. No, pressing in the opposition area, it's cash money. It's a jackpot to score in a goal because you win the ball in a dangerous area. He presses two of them down and he wins the ball back. Juventus don't really go on to create an opportunity, but it helps them win the ball in Napoli's half. And on another day, against other opposition, this could be the difference maker between scoring a goal or not. It's that pressing ability where he knows, I'm going on a one-man press, but I'm going to make sure I win the ball. And he did this time. Now, my favourite one, I feel like this one is my favourite, but it just had such a bitter ending to it, is when Juventus tried to go on a counter-attack. They launched the ball forward. It doesn't get to Kolo Muani, but it's fine. He will chase down that loose ball. He chases it down. He wins it. Now, you could see, look at him down the left-hand side. He's got nobody besides Nico Gonzalez on the overlap. Look at how many Napoli players are in and around him. I remember I mentioned this when doing a little breakdown of Kolo Muani's overall game when Juventus signed him. It's his ability to create opportunities out of nothing. Look at the amount of Napoli players that are around him. Like, it's looking congested. He doesn't really have much options, yet he carries the ball. He takes them on. He beats Lobotka. He gets the ball into a dangerous area, but that's when Coop Miners comes running in and thinks, I don't know, he thinks he's prime Cristiano Ronaldo, striking the ball from 30 yards and smashing my car window. Yeah, that's what happened, but forget Coop Miners. I'm looking at Kolo Muani where he chases onto a loose ball. He wins that loose ball. He then carries the ball, taking on Napoli players. He created an opportunity for himself because I feel like on another day, he probably goes on to have a strike from goal in that area. But if you were to rewind just 3, 4, 5 seconds, the area he initially receives the ball is not in a goal scoring area. It's not even in an area where a player would shoot from. But this all came from his pressing, from his intensity, from his ability to take on opposition players and get the ball into a goal scoring area. But like I said, Coop Miners comes in and ruins the party. Now, Juventus didn't really do much in the second half. So all of these clips, all of these things that I've discussed, they've all come from just 45 minutes of football from a player that's only had like, 1, 2 training sessions with his teammates under a brand new manager in a completely different league. I feel like the French league, it's more end-to-end. The Italian league is more tactical. Teams tend to set up more defensively. So now there's a heavy focus on your technical ability, but most importantly, your brain, what you can do, the positions you take up, your decision making. And I feel like from just 45 minutes of football, he really, really, really impressed, especially when you bear in mind Juventus didn't really impose themselves much in the second half. And even in the first half, he was always an isolated figure. But when you can still impose yourself as an isolated figure, it says a lot. It says a lot about you, the individual, and your ability. And maybe, just maybe, from now up until the end of the season, he is the player that revamps this Juventus attack. And he can bring something out of his teammates that maybe at times Dusan Vlahovic couldn't. But I've always said I would personally love to see him and Dusan Vlahovic lead the line because I feel like both can complement each other in different ways. But if he performs and he does well, Juventus will definitely have their eyes on making him a permanent transfer in the summer. Now, if you're new, make sure to subscribe, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to let me know what you think of the Kolo Muani debut in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on another one.